All right, Zabriel, would you mind starting the intros here for me?
The bottom right has the red Zerg. It is Roots CatZ.
And if I've done this correctly, his opponent in the top left, he's blue, he's Terran. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Send. I don't think that could have timed out better. Sendoh had a.
It's not fair. I didn't hear it.
I guess you'll hear it when we get back, VODs or whatever. But Sendoh, honestly, he made some mistakes. Granted, I really think that didn't come down to so much to poor play from him or bad decision making, so much as it did like CatZ playing just way better. I mean, it's easy to be like, oh, we're all happy-go-lucky, positive, and we want to make players seem like they're not, feelings hurt, but. Realistically, I'm not trying to spare feelings. Like, he didn't make any mistake that made me go like, wow, this guy's an idiot. What does he think he's doing? Get out of the game. No, CatZ just played that so much better. Every step of the way.
CatZ realized Sendoh's mistakes. Every single time he didn't have tanks covering his Ravens, he threw the infestors underneath the Ravens. It is a mistake that was made, and CatZ was good enough to capitalize it.
Capitalize
on it. You don't capitalize it.
Capitalized on it.
Yeah.
There's just low-hanging fruit again. But, alright, Sendoh's got a different map to worry about. This one's not so great for mech because it is got that really weird, first off, wide, huge difference between the bases. It doesn't look like it, but it really does. There's two distinct attack paths you can go down here as a Zerg player as well. So it's hard to position yourself. Like, you can't have tanks over here around the 4th and defend your other 4th at the same time, whereas Swarmhosts can just position themselves here and go either way. So if you were to go mech and force CatZ into Swarmhost, I think that would be the worst thing he could do on this map. There's just too many ways to get caught.
I don't think going mech. I mean, this might be biased. I don't know. I don't see mech work that often, especially how foreigners seem to play it, especially on really good maps for like Overgrowth. I mean, flip it, Habitation Station. Also Overgrowth though. I just. If it's a win, it's because they didn't go Swarmhost Muta, Swarmhost Muta. It's a win because they went Roach Hydra and kept, like, throwing themselves at it. Which we have seen. But I could say that incorrect.
Did someone sneak in here that was not supposed to be?
Yeah, I guess so.
I was like, Shuku, what's he talking about? Like, maybe a nickname or something. But, alright, we got the Reaper wrapping in from that one right side. This is, gonna get a nice little scout. Okay, goodbye, Shuku.
Well, we can't actually force him to leave, so...
No, but
what a good guy.
But okay, you know what? There's not a lot going on to Scout at the moment. He did see the gas, and he sees the pool wiggling, so he knows he's on that clock of the 6-minute timer. This is something he did not have to worry about last time, but the thing was, last time... Oh my god.
No! Oh, he was tricked. He was fooled.
I was gonna say, last time in last game, CatZ held him off without speed. He's absolutely shut this down again without speed. Strangely enough.
You know what? What really infuriates me is not that I didn't like that Sendoh went for mech. I didn't like that he didn't capitalize on the fact that CatZ threw away all those roads in the beginning.
That's true. I actually forgot about that. Actually, the that great wall of death, the depots.
Yeah. I was like, at 150, 160, CatZ is only going to be at 150, 162, and mech is, more powerful per supply, so go for it. But, it's just, Koreans are the only ones who dare go forward.
Well, the wall-off's coming down here, and he should be pretty well set, but there are 4 lings already here. Now, with speed, this Reaper actually can't necessarily auto-win. He will lose an SCV, he'll lose 2 SCVs. Wow, he'll lose 3 SCVs to this!
Well, that's a whoops.
Well, actually, hang on, is he being benevolent? He's gonna spare the other SCV? I guess so. Nope, never mind, just kidding. Psych! I like how those Zerglings run, too. They just kind of prance away. Like, wah!
Like the Carbot Zerglings.
Yeah, Carbot Zerglings are the best. I can't wait, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen, Carbot's been working on this, like, game mod that'll make it so all the animations in StarCraft 2 are replaced with the units from Carbot stuff, so, like, you'll have actual Carbot Zerglings and all that.
Oh yeah, the mod. Yeah.
He's been working. I've been watching him stream some of this stuff. I mean, he's going all out. Like every animation possible, even the mineral shimmering. Like he's covering his bases with it.
Yeah, he's originally he was doing it for a lot of money, and it was just like passion, #passion, and it still is. Like he still enjoys it, obviously, and it's still really cool that he does it. But he is also making good money and good like marketing and just good experiences from it.
Yeah, he's got
I'm
that.
jelly.
He's got that Patreon page with a lot of supporters. I am jelly. Plus, let's not forget, like Blizzard's been doing a great job of supporting him, playing his stuff during like WCS and whatnot.
Yeah, and letting him get away with potential. I don't think it's copyright infringement because it is so different, but he sells shirts and stuff.
Either way, I'm just glad that he's a part of the existence, I guess, of StarCraft 2 early things. Anyways, this will push these back. The spine car is not something you typically see, but CatZ has got it down to make sure that he doesn't take any pressure from Hellions. Not in the slightest. And that's a very quick spire in a very unusual location. So Sendoh decides to scout. He's not going to scout there. Not with a scan, at least.
One Viking might have gone over that, but yes, that probably will not be scouted. Now this is interesting. Usually you rarely see 2-base Muta against a bio player because it just doesn't seem to work out enough. But you see it all the time against someone who thinks that their opponent's going to be going for mech. Does he think that Sendoh is just a mech player? I mean, that was a good map for mech. Like, people who buy all the time go mech on that map.
It may have been a misinterpretation, but I mean, the realistic reality of things is 2-base Mutas, not exactly bad versus Terran openers in general. There's going to be a lot of Hellions and Reapers and possibly Marauders, right? Like, no one's really going fast Thors, no one's going fast 25 Marines. So, I mean, the Mutas isn't a bad opener, but it's less economic than the other alternatives, for sure.
Yeah, it's not as bad as opening against like Swarmos against Bile, maybe. That would be really odd. But if it doesn't do any damage, and sometimes it just really doesn't do any damage, it can, be a lot harder to defend against that first medevac push. Or he defends the first medevac push fine, and then he has a lot more mutas than expected at that point.
I'm enjoying your struggles. It's been a long day for both of us. Of course, we did the Acer Team Strike Up this morning,
kind of a tongue twister. Okay.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, I love that we get to cast Copa America, because before, we had the morning cast. Now we get a little bit of late night cast. We had a show match the other day. I've really enjoyed our time spent with Copa America so far, and I'm really excited that there's still a whole season to go for it. Even now, it's not Rainbows with Secret Missiles, but he uses the splash damage from that one of mine against the SCVs. CatZ, you are such a monster.
Wasn't quite as effective, but yes, that was true.
Like, seriously, what developer said, you know what, one race needs to hurt themselves like a lot of the time?
Well, that would be the original designers of Brood War.
Nice shot there.
Tanks have always done splash damage.
Yeah, but they didn't have to translate it to all the new things. I mean, Widow Mines, Secret Missiles.
I mean, hey, we get healing, alright? A lot of the Mutas did a lot of damage. They killed a lot of SCVs up to 16 already, and they also took a good chunk of the Marines, which is odd to think about. But they also lost all of the Mutas. Decent trade? I don't know.
Well, he didn't really lose all the Mutas. I mean, I think it was only about 4.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because 2 to the Widow Mines, right?
7. No, he lost at 7.
Okay, well, I can't, unfortunately, because we're not allowed to use Game Heart, I can't hit Shift L and look and get a decisive number, but...
I can, it lies to me all the time.
Yours sucks. See, like, mine's accurate, but I can't use it. We need to, like, swap who's using which overlay somehow. But...
Well, that would have mine just took a bunch more out, too. So now he's down to a 6, so he's lost, like, 10 now.
Sendoh did a good job here with the defense, I mean, honestly.
He is, because one thing that can happen if you go for early mutas is that you have those 10 mutas, you let them live, and suddenly you have 10 more mutas than you would expect at like 15 minutes. So when one start takes care of your bases while you're pushing out normally, now it doesn't. But it's still okay. He reduced the number pretty much to 0 at some point, and CatZ had to rebuild from like a normal scratch start.
Well, CatZ also had a small block up here, so I mean, the command center did finally reposition itself, but Sendoh's wall's coming up a bit awkward and late. In fact, I don't know if that fully walls to connect with the refinery or not. This is a really weird refinery thing on this map, very specific to it, but Marine's going to try and chase these back.
Why hasn't Sendoh decided to push out yet? He is playing, defensive because he wants that third, and he knows that the biggest threat right now is the mobile Mutalisk, but leaving a chunk of Marines behind and pushing out would be better. Because we hadn't really noticed because we were focusing so much on this side of the map, but the bailingness only just came down. They just started bailing speed. There's not that much creep spread.
Well, the thing too, for Sendoh, you really can't underestimate this. He's coming up against the mighty CatZ, right? He might just simply be scared and intimidated by his opponent rather than what's actually objectively happening in the game. Like if it's some
too
Bronze
bad,
League
though.
player, you come in confident, like, oh, I can push, it's no problem, right? And then you hit those timings. But it's like, oh, it's CatZ, he might have more behind this. He could be playing like this own self-defeatist mind games.
Yeah, that is an excellent point. It happens all the time, but it sucks because I think he really did have an opportunity that if he was, you know, aggressive, he could do something. Now he also got his own combat shield, so they both give away something in this defense/offense. But Sendoh really did have a good defense. It just like killing all the mutas, even while taking some SCV damage, killing all the mutas was a bigger deal.
Well, CatZ has managed to lock down this fourth pretty nicely.
Yeah. And now the time where there was no banelings at one point for a very long time, but there was also no baneling speed. Now he has it. He has the upgrades, and now he has a decent muta flock to go ahead and counter.
Yeah, 17's pretty good. I like the control over here. Make
What you'd
sure.
expect. Imagine if those first 10 were alive, though, the first 12 or whatever. He would have so many.
Well, Quinn gets picked off in the middle of the map. Now, as you point out, the baneling speed and banelings were late, but he's got a lot of them on the ground waiting. I mean, 11 banelings doesn't seem like that much, but you guys got to remember, there's no marauders here, there's no widow mines with this. Everything that can connect will take that bonus damage. And as long as he kills enough of the marines, the mutalisk can clean up what's left.
It's very infuriating that he didn't kill the 2 active creep tumors.
Yeah.
That scan was so bad. Not any fault of his own, just bad.
Oh god, blue flame though
Alright.
against 100 zerglings. We're gonna see who comes out
They're
ahead.
gonna
Banelings are
No,
way
not
too low to
targeting.
connect. He's trying to fight off a creep too. CatZ is really ballsy. He's going to take a pretty good engagement, but this won't end the game, sadly, as he's left with very little behind this. Just a couple of mutalisks still standing, but the marine reinforcements should be able to deal with that. Those blue flame hellbats, oh my god, did they get some good connects.
If he had taken that engagement completely off of creep as opposed to just half of it, I think he comes out even or even ahead. Here, CatZ can still continue forward.
The thing is, there was 100 zerglings versus 6 blue flame hellbats. I mean, CatZ just kind of ran into a meat grinder, you know?
Yeah, but he still had so much left over with the banelings that it was fine. I mean, it could have been better for CatZ, yes. Could have been better for Sendoh, also yes.
Yeah. Well, Crescendo, or not Crescendo. Sendoh, I don't know, like it's some sort of like attack, crescendo attack. Sendoh's actually going to establish his fourth now, something that's taking him a little bit of time, but CatZ is rushing in here to drop some creep. Oh, what a jerk.
Go away, please. Do not want today.
Actually, it's going to miss the mark a little bit. Quite a bit,
It
actually.
is.
Oops.
It is.
Nope, 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 nope.
I don't know if I like taking this fourth. So often we see the fourth taken in the middle because it gives you an immediate jumping off point to what would be CatZ's fifth.
Okay, I want to get back to the point earlier about friendly fire damage. Overlords, command centers in the air, mutalisks, anything that dies in the air should totally deal damage to anything underneath it, friend or foe. I'm just saying. I mean, can you imagine the husk of a command center, the broken shell of it falling down from space?
If that happens, they have to squash the ling that's under it.
No, that wouldn't make any sense. You're gonna have to explain the logic on that to me.
You like directly quoted that comic. It's the stupid thing I've ever heard.
All right, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, it is. I don't know. StarCraft logic's pretty awesome. This drop's gonna be really nice because it will get into CatZ's base, but the problem is, even if it kills a lot of drones here, CatZ, he's on 81 workers. He can actually afford to lose a couple drones at this
These are
point.
so stacked up, though. So many are gonna go down. He does pull away. His meters are coming back. They will be able to take care of this
Ooh.
just by themselves.
I like the focus on the spawning pool though, or yep, even a couple mutalisks.
Very a lot of the micro going on with this drop. It's 2 Mulas and the spawning pool
Well, this-
and the queen.
This is the guy who microed like 5 marines versus a million banelings. Remember?
He just needs drops. He just needs 1 drop at a time, and he can take on the entire army.
Ooh, I didn't catch
the
this.
secret.
CatZ has started hiding some banelings around the map. This is something that's not going to really affect the army right now, but could catch it
Oh,
on
no.
retreats. Oh! The baneling hit is good! It takes out the whole heart of the army. Now, granted, it didn't kill the Hellbats, but so many marines just went down, and for CatZ, 2 banelings, that's a really nice trade. His mutalisk count, by the way, has grown significantly. Gone from the 17 that it was before up to 32 now. There's 45 banelings behind this.
There are 3 Thors on the way, and not only will they deal a lot of splash damage to 1 misclick from CatZ, but they might also soak up a lot of banelings.
Now, Muta's going to find 4 turrets to greet them, but they're going to have no problem dealing with these. Although, a very awkward start to this engagement. He loses like 4 Mutas for like 1 turret. I don't know what that was about. I think he was looking somewhere else on the map for a moment, but... He's saturated up pretty nicely. Like I said before, even if he took a little bit of damage from the main, he's got so many other things on the map. Spawning pool already rebuilt, and 3-3 now on the way. The one thing we're missing to see out of CatZ is, of course, an Ultraless Cavern, but what are these Mutilas doing? Whoa, he just gave away half his Mutas!
Well, that was a nice little gift to Sendoh.
That was like, Sendoh, you were so generous to me last game with the Seeker Missiles. I just want to pay you back.
Ooh, he needs to control these Banelings. He needs to make sure that he doesn't hit the mech army. Most of the Banelings really did, though.
He's got so many, though. He still drives a lot of this back. Problem remains, though, he lost so many Mutilas prior to this engagement. And CatZ actually doesn't have a gas bank. He had this really nice mineral bank they just had to sink into a lot of Zerglings, but, I mean, again, these are going to be Blue Flame Hellbats, guys. This is nothing to scoff at.
That army at that time really was half mech. It wasn't his intention, but it worked out that way, and it worked very, very well. CatZ, especially going off of creep, you're taking so much damage from those Hellbats, even without focusing them. It is cleaned up. Sendoh is still down by about 20 supply, so CatZ not in any danger, just with a very low Muta count.
I kind of almost wish he would not spread creep northwards here, because okay, never mind. Scans already revealed the Banelings anyways. He knows they're there. But the reason, for those of you who don't know, you don't burrow Banelings typically on creep, because Terran players are usually going to be scanning to clean up the creep as they walk anyway, so they'll find your Banelings and it'll be a little bit worthless. So CatZ recognizing that starts repositioning them.
Closer to his creep, which would be scanned, so I don't know if they're really going to do anything. What is that poking sound? The spine crawlers are poking at that rocks. That's what it was.
What rocks? Oh,
No.
Where?
The destructible, they were down at the 5th.
Oh. Yeah, I heard the sound too, and I thought, like, maybe that's just me. I didn't want to, like, bring it up because it was going crazy.
All red across the production tab, all the upgrades, all at once, please.
Okay, well...
He's going to get this, the 6, that's why he's tearing down those rocks.
I actually really like that he's investing in adrenal glands. This is something that has been lacking for a while. Cracklings, they don't really come into effect versus Marines, or even Hellbats for that matter, but they tear down Thors so freaking fast. The Ultras are out too, are going to be really nice. Katniss plating is finishing up here in a moment's time. And, I don't know, for Sendoh, his army is just lacking what it needs to be. I mean, Marauders are finally coming out. He's got Thors. He's kind of blindly making the, okay, it's about that time for Ultraless composition, but I don't know if he'll have enough of it is the problem. There is no...
If he can secure a 5th, he can be fine. It's still 4 bases versus 5.
I don't know why he thought he'd get away with this. There's so many Overlords here in the top right. He passed by like 3 of them with that medevac.
Oh, that's what happened. I thought the hatch was already finished, but he was building it, and there's also creep on top, just to try and deny it a little further. Sendoh's not taking that base anytime soon, though. That is your last resort base.
Yeah.
Big engagement going on in the middle.
Pushing through, lifts the command center. The Thor's not getting a lot done, but they do soak up a lot of those Baneling hits. Hellbat's going to deal a ton of damage too. And the question is, will these Infestors be effective or not? Because quite frankly, CatZ doesn't have a lot of support outside of these minor amount of units. But those Banelings are burrowed. He's waiting to pop them on the Marines. Gets a good hit. More Banelings rolling in from behind this, and CatZ, I don't know how he does it. He's constantly got more and more Banelings behind each wave.
I don't know why he picked up there. He's going to just leave his Thors to die, and potentially a medevac's full of the units as well. Dropped on top of the Ultralisk. Not too helpful there.
Thor was here.
Yeah. Oh, he's still taking a good engagement at the
last Mutas. He can't afford to lose these. He actually needs to keep these Mutas alive.
He needs some Mutas. Again,
well, no, he can't. He can't make any more. His gas bank is going entirely towards Banelings and Ultras.
Yeah, that's a excellent point. And he doesn't have Infestors anymore. I believe they also died. And you want something with the Ultralisk. You want either Infestors or you want Mutalisk. Maybe even both. Having neither is a problem.
The Marauders are soaking some of these Baneling hits so nicely, and the problem for CatZ, of course, these expendable units, while volatile, are not getting the demolishing effect that they want. But the Zerglings with Adrenal Glands are doing a great job of dealing with the Marauders. Problem is, there's a lot of Hellbats constantly with Blue Flame backing them up. Oh, this orbital. Oh, no. Yo, that dies.
Barely couldn't do it. Yeah. So while he has other orbitals to spare, it's an orbital, not a planetary, at a position where a planetary is absolutely key, because this is constantly where CatZ would be attacking. If that planetary is up and ready during all these engagements, way, way different. CatZ won't even back up because he's too scared to do it. Now it's going to be an orbital, not nearly as scary.
You know, this is one of those rare scenarios where you don't make fun of the player for going pure Ultralisks primarily. I mean, a lot of times you see a way big 2 dedication and, you know, they lose out because they can't fight the army. But for Sendoh, he's not maxed again anytime soon. He's got a decent economy going for him, but it's not enough to pump out max, not while producing Thors like this. And the problem is, the more Thors and Marauders he makes, the better it is for CatZ to just make Zerglings.
CatZ is on 93 drones. I don't know how long he's been on 93 drones.
Is
but
he?
That's too much.
This late in the game, yes, for sure. I mean, he's got a lot of bases spread out, granted, but you're absolutely correct. This could have been way more. Planetary Fortress is going to go down here, but Bailey's going to be kept in reserve for round 2 for CVs. Kaiser Blades are a little too splashy for them.
They had no chance. That was a great trade for CatZ right there. Totally worth it as he brings his opponent down to just 1/2 the mining base, really, at that third.
I like what Sendoh tried to do with drops. Yeah, she does get some pretty effective drops on the right side of the map, but as you pointed out, CatZ having 91 drones, Sendoh's actually probably doing CatZ a bit of a favor, killing all these drones. Because CatZ only needs the geysers, that's it.
He's also he's given the chance to CatZ recognizing, oh, those drops could be a problem, let me get Mulus, which is something he was missing. Now the drops, you know, they could have had that surprise, like 5 drops everywhere, kill a bunch of your bases, then you're forced to attack in an uncomfortable position. That is the one way Sendoh gets back into this game. It's not here anymore.
There's too many Ultras. There's just no way to deal with this. There's no SimCity. If there's barracks down, maybe it's different. That Husk of the Ultralist, though, Jesus, that went crazy.
The Thors, though, I mean, they're kind of being blockers. They're just too much.
Too much. GG, well played. Ladies and gentlemen, CatZ will come out victorious today and go into the finals bracket, which will be played out tomorrow, I believe. I'll be back.